Chuka built a perfect life with Adiz, but suspicion slowly poisoned his happiness. He noticed strange calls, secret meetings, and whispers in the night. But the most shocking part came when he pulled out the lens of his own eyes to spy on her, a desperate act that would uncover a truth no one expected. Watch till the end. From the very first day Chuka met Adiz, he was convinced that God himself had carefully placed her on his path. It was at a friend's wedding in Enugu. She walked in wearing a flowing emerald gown, her laughter brighter than the chandeliers above. Chuka, a young tech millionaire who had just launched a successful security company in Abuja, was instantly captivated. Adiz wasn't just beautiful, she was confident, well-educated, and had a heart that charmed everyone in the room. After months of dating, filled with romantic dinners, surprise vacations, and endless promises, Chuka got down on one knee in front of the Hilton and proposed. She said yes through tears of joy, and a year later, their wedding was the talk of Abuja's high society, luxury cars, celebrity guests, and a mansion gifted to them by Chuka's company as a wedding present. The mansion in Maitama was every couple's dream: 6 bedrooms, marble floors, an indoor pool, and an intelligent home system that Chuka designed himself. Everything was perfect. At least, for the first 3 years. Then, slowly, cracks began to show. Adiz started staying out late. At first, it was girls' night, then office dinners, then just tired. Chuka, who once looked forward to her hugs at the door, now came home to silence and the smell of perfume that wasn't his. He told himself it was just work stress, that every marriage had its rough patches. But deep inside, a storm of doubt brewed. One night, while scrolling through his phone in the home theater, a message notification popped up on Adiz's tablet, which she had mistakenly left behind. It was from a contact saved as mechanic, but the words weren't about cars. Last night was magical. Same time tomorrow. Chuka's heart dropped. He confronted her, but Adiz laughed it off. "You're paranoid," she said, kissing his forehead. But the seed of suspicion had already grown into something darker. Now, here's the thing about Chuka: he wasn't just a tech entrepreneur, he was a genius in surveillance engineering. His company specialized in designing cutting-edge monitoring devices for high-security buildings. If anyone could find the truth, it was him. But the truth he sought wouldn't come from regular cameras. Adiz had grown clever, always making sure to disable the home's security system before she left or met anyone inside. She knew the house too well. So, Chuka decided to outsmart her, in a way no one had ever done before. It was madness. Even he knew it. But heartbreak can make a man do the unthinkable. He designed a prototype, a microscopic lens system linked to his neural network. It was meant for military use, a project that was still in testing. But Chuka reprogrammed it for something more personal. He removed one of his own eyes, in a sterile, clinical operation conducted secretly in his lab, and implanted the lens. The new eye looked human but wasn't. It was a fully functional camera, transmitting live video directly to his secured server. He placed it subtly on the corner of the living room shelf, disguised as an art piece, while Adiz believed it was just another one of his expensive sculptures. Days turned into weeks. Nothing unusual. Adiz moved around the house like everything was normal. But then, one Friday evening, when she thought Chuka had traveled to Lagos for a tech conference, the feed came alive. Chuka, sitting in his secret control room deep beneath the mansion, watched the footage. At first, it was just Adiz pouring wine, humming to herself. Then the doorbell rang. A tall man entered, someone Chuka had never seen before. His hands were all over her. They kissed passionately. Chuka's fists clenched as rage boiled inside him. But what happened next made his heart freeze completely. Adiz led the men not to their bedroom, but to Chuka's private office, a place she had promised never to enter. She typed a code into his personal vault, a code only he knew. It opened. Inside were documents, sensitive company files, high-value prototypes, and confidential data worth millions. She handed them to the men like they were nothing. "Our deal is almost complete," she whispered. "Once he signs the new contract, we'll leak everything. His empire will crumble, and will be gone before anyone suspects." The men nodded, sliding a silver briefcase towards her. And then, she said something that shattered everything Chuka believed. "After he's ruined, you'll deal with him, right? I can't have him around anymore." the men smiled. Don't worry. By the time anyone finds the body, we'll be in Dubai. Chuka's blood ran cold. His wife, the woman he loved, the woman he built his life around, was not just cheating. She was planning to destroy him and kill him. He sat back, trembling, staring at the live feed from the eye that once belonged to him. This wasn't betrayal anymore. This was war. And that night, Chuka made a silent vow: Adiz would never see what was coming next. Chuka didn't sleep that night. He sat in his secret lab, surrounded by screens replaying the betrayal over and over. Every word Adiz said echoed in his skull like a bomb ready to detonate. Once he's ruined, you'll deal with him. We'll be gone before anyone suspects. The woman he once thought was a gift from heaven had now become his greatest enemy on earth. And the man beside her, tall, muscular, a scar cutting across his cheek, was no lover. He was a professional. A killer. But if Adiz thought she was playing chess, Chuka was about to show her that he was the grandmaster. The following morning, he walked into the kitchen like nothing had happened. Adiz was there, dressed in silk pajamas, scrolling through her phone and pretending to be the perfect wife. "Good morning, baby," she said, planting a kiss on his cheek. "Morning, Ada," Chuka replied with a smile so calm it scared even himself. "I have a business trip next week. Maybe you can come with me this time." Her eyes widened slightly, panic flashing across them for a second before she masked it with a grin. "Oh, darling, I wish I could. But I have a charity event in town." "Of course," he said, nodding. "Next time, then." She had no idea he already knew exactly where she planned to be next week, not at a charity event, but at a secret villa in Jabi with her hitman boyfriend and a plan to leak his company's secrets to a foreign investor. For the next 7 days, Chuka became an actor, a brilliant one. He bought her flowers, took her to dinners, even surprised her with a new car. Every move was carefully calculated. He needed her to believe she had him completely fooled. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, he set his plan in motion. First, he called his most trusted lawyer and quietly transferred all his company shares into a hidden trust under a false name. Then he duplicated all the sensitive documents Adiz planned to leak, except he altered them. The new versions contained false intelligence that, if leaked, would lead anyone who used them straight into an international cybercrime investigation. Finally, he contacted an old friend in the Nigerian Secret Service, someone who owed him a very big favor. Together, they built a sting operation. By Thursday night, everything was in place. Friday. 10:45 p.m. The iCamera blinked to life again. Adiz was pacing the living room in a red dress, her hair perfectly styled, her smile sharper than a knife. 10 minutes later, the scar-faced man entered, carrying the silver briefcase. They kissed, and once again, she led him to the office. "Tonight's the night," she whispered. "Once he signs the deal in Lagos tomorrow, the whole company will collapse by Monday. We'll disappear by Sunday morning." "Good," the man said. "Our contact is already in Dubai. And the cleaner will be here by dawn. He won't live to see the fallout." But before they could open the vault, something unexpected happened. The lights flickered. The mansion went silent. Then, boom. The doors slammed shut on their own. The security shutters locked in place. What's going on?" Adiz gasped. A voice echoed through the house, calm but chilling. "Welcome to the last night of your freedom." The screens on every wall lit up, each one showing camera feeds from hidden lenses throughout the mansion. Including the one from Chuka's missing eye. The couple froze. And then, from the top of the grand staircase, Chuka appeared, dressed in a black suit, hands clasped behind his back, eyes cold as stone. "Surprised to see me?" he asked softly. "Chuka." Adiz stammered, tears welling in her eyes. "I can explain." "Explain what?" he cut in, stepping closer. "That you've been stealing from me. Plotting to destroy everything I built. Planning my death." The scar-faced man reached for his gun, but before he could aim, red laser dots danced across his chest. Armed agents stormed in from every entrance, shouting commands. "Drop your weapon." On the ground. The man tried to fight, but he was quickly subdued and cuffed. Adiz, shaking and crying, fell to her knees. "Chuka, Please. I was manipulated. I didn't mean any of this, she sobbed, crawling toward him. I still love you. He stared down at her, the woman who once made his heart race now reduced to a stranger on the marble floor. Love, he repeated quietly. No, Adiz. You loved my money. You loved my name. But me. You never did. The agents lifted her to her feet, reading her rights as they dragged her toward the door. She screamed his name over and over, but Chuka didn't flinch. The mansion was silent again. Chuka walked into his office and closed the vault, the fake documents still inside. He stood in front of the shelf where his artificial eye had been watching everything unfold. He picked it up gently and stared into the tiny lens, the eye that had shown him the ugliest truth. Thank you, he whispered. For showing me who she really was. But just as he was about to turn off the feed, something flickered on one of the screens, a second camera he didn't remember installing. A feed from somewhere inside the house. And on that screen was Adiz. In a dark room. Smiling. Not handcuffed. Not arrested. And standing beside her was someone Chuka did know, someone he trusted more than anyone. His younger brother, Emeka. Chuka's breath caught in his throat. He leaned forward, squinting at the screen, sure his mind was playing tricks on him. But there was no mistaking it, the feed was real, and the people on it were unmistakable. Adiz sat calmly on a leather chair in a dimly lit basement room. A soft smile curved on her lips, the same smile that once melted Chuka's heart. Standing next to her, whispering something in her ear, was Emeka, his younger brother, his blood, his most trusted family member. What the hell, Chuka muttered under his breath. He quickly tapped into the camera's data stream, tracing the source. It wasn't part of his security network, someone had planted it inside the house without his knowledge. And the location. His old underground panic room, a place only two people in the entire world knew about, himself and Emeka. The room filled with static, then the audio kicked in. Adiz, you see. I told you he would take the bait. Now the real fun begins. Emeka, good. The fool thinks it's over. He has no idea what's coming next. Chuka's heart started pounding. No idea what's coming next. What could they possibly mean? He listened closer. Adiz, once they move him to the villa in Jabi tomorrow, everything will be in place. His accounts, his assets, everything will transfer before he even realizes he's been played. Emeka, and by the time he wakes up, the world will believe he's the criminal. He'll be the one rotting in prison, not us. The blood drained from Chuka's face. This wasn't over. The arrest. The fake betrayal. The tears. It was all a setup. And worse, Emeka was the architect of it all. He stumbled back into his chair, his mind spiraling. Memories flashed through his head, Emeka helping him start the company, Emeka sleeping on his couch during hard times, Emeka swearing he'd always protect his brother. All lies. All part of a plan. Then, one sentence from Adiz sent a chill crawling down his spine. And when he's gone, everything he ever owned will belong to us. For the first time since the betrayal began, Chuka's rage wasn't cold, it was boiling hot. He slammed his fist on the table, rattling the screens. They thought they were 2 steps ahead. They thought they'd won. They had no idea who they were dealing with. All right, he whispered to himself, a dangerous calm settling over him. If it's a game they want, then a game they'll get. The next morning, Chuka did exactly what they expected. He held a press conference, announcing that he would travel to Lagos to finalize a ₦1 billion defense contract. He smiled for the cameras, shook hands with investors, and played the role of the man who had survived betrayal. But behind the scenes, he was rewriting the entire script. He reached out to his legal team and froze all corporate accounts. He replaced his security clearance with new biometric protocols that even Emeka couldn't bypass. And most importantly, he installed a second surveillance system, one even his original tech couldn't detect, throughout every corner of the house, including the panic room. And then, he let the trap unfold. 2 nights later, the plan Adiz and Emeka had whispered about came to life. A group of masked men stormed the mansion at midnight. They claimed to be federal agents with a warrant for Chuka's arrest. The charges? corporate espionage, money laundering, and attempted murder. All fabricated. "Sir, you're under arrest," one of them said. Chuka raised his hands calmly. "Of course," he replied. "I've been expecting you." As they escorted him out, he glanced over his shoulder, and there she was. Adiz, standing at the top of the stairs, tears of fake concern streaming down her face. And beside her, Emeka, pretending to argue with the officers, playing the part of the loyal brother who couldn't save him. Bravo, Chuka thought. You're good. But not good enough. 3 days later, the news exploded. Tech mogul arrested in espionage scandal. Billionaire founder to face life in prison. Across Nigeria, people were stunned. Investors panicked. Shares of his company plummeted. And behind the scenes, Emeka and Adiz began the final stage of their plan, transferring Chuka's E. But then, something unexpected happened. The morning of the court hearing, before any evidence could be presented, a team of federal investigators stormed Emeka's office in Gwarinpa and Adiz's luxury apartment in Asokoro. Both were dragged out in handcuffs before they could even open their mouths. The evidence against them: video footage, audio recordings, bank transfers, phone conversations, plans for murder. Every last piece of it had been collected from the second surveillance network. The story hit the news like a bombshell. Wife and brother of tech billionaire arrested for attempted murder and corporate sabotage. And as they were brought into the courtroom, Adiz's eyes widened in shock, because sitting at the defense table, smiling calmly, was Chuka himself. He wasn't in prison. He had never been charged. The entire arrest was a counter-operation orchestrated by the National Cybercrime Unit, one he had been working with since the day he saw that secret camera feed. "You played me," Adiz hissed as they dragged her past him. "No," Chuka replied softly. "I just played better." Emeka glared at him with hatred in his eyes. "You'll regret this, brother." Chuka leaned forward and whispered, "You stopped being my brother the day you tried to bury me." But just as the judge prepared to read the charges, something unexpected happened. A man in a dark suit walked into the courtroom, handed the prosecutor a file, and whispered something in his ear. The prosecutor's face turned pale. Then he turned to Chuka. "Mr. Nwankwo, we have new information. It seems there's another accomplice. And this one is still inside your company." Chuka froze. Another accomplice? Who? Everyone involved was already exposed. And then a chilling thought crossed his mind: someone far more dangerous than Adiz or Emeka might have been pulling the strings all along. Chuka's pulse began to race. He turned slowly toward the prosecutor. "What do you mean another accomplice?" The man hesitated, then handed him a photograph from the file. Chuka's heart stopped. The face staring back at him wasn't Adiz. It wasn't Emeka. It wasn't anyone from his enemies list. It was Mr. Bamidele Okonkwo, his mentor, the man who had invested in his company from the very beginning. The man who had treated him like a son, guided him through the business world, and even stood beside him as his best man on his wedding day. The betrayal was deeper than he ever imagined. It all made sense now. Bamidele had access to the company's earliest systems. He was the only one with enough influence to manipulate the board, the only person powerful enough to cover Emeka and Adiz's tracks, and the one who convinced Chuka to expand into government contracts, the very deals now being used to accuse him of espionage. And worst of all, the federal agents investigating the case revealed that Bamidele was the one funding the foreign buyer. Adiz and Emeka were pawns. The real prize wasn't Chuka's death. It was his company. As the court adjourned for the day, Chuka's mind was already working. He knew he couldn't fight this battle with lawyers or police. This was a war of power. That night, in the dim light of his office, Chuka called the only people he still trusted, 3 board members who had stood by him from the beginning. Together, they devised a plan that would not only save the company but destroy Bamidele's empire from within. The plan was simple but deadly. 1. Corporate mirror. Chuka created a shadow company in Dubai and moved all the core patents, technology, and proprietary code to it, legally protected and beyond Nigerian jurisdiction. Without those, Bamidele's attempts to seize the company would fail. 2. Financial trap. Using Emeka and Adiz's own confession records, Chuka traced the chain of payments all the way to Bamidele's offshore accounts. he prepared a detailed dossier for the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, exposing money laundering, corporate espionage, and foreign collusion. 3. The final sting, he leaked a fake insider report suggesting that Bamidiel's company was under investigation for arms dealing. Within hours, stock prices plummeted. Investors pulled out. The press went wild. By the time Bamidele realized what was happening, it was too late. 3 weeks later, the courtroom was full again. Adeez and Emeka were brought in, now facing decades in prison. But today, there was a new name on the charge sheet, Bamidele Okonkwo, accused of high-level corporate conspiracy and attempted economic sabotage. As the judge read out the charges, Bamidele locked eyes with Chuka from across the courtroom. There was no hatred there, only respect. The kind a hunter has for the prey that escaped the trap. "You've done well," Bamidele whispered as the officers led him away. "But remember, in this game, no one truly wins." Chuka didn't respond. He didn't need to. The empire Bamidele tried to steal was stronger than ever, and now it was untouchable. Months passed. The scandal shook Abuja's business world. Adeez filed appeals but was denied. Emeka tried to claim innocence but ended up confessing in exchange for a lighter sentence. Bamidiel's empire crumbled, his name erased from the elite circles he once ruled. And Chuka? He rebuilt, stronger, smarter, and wiser. The mansion was silent now, stripped of lies and betrayal. But one thing remained exactly where it was, the artificial eye. He kept it mounted in the living room, still recording, still watching. A symbol of the painful lessons he had learned. Sometimes, late at night, Chuka would pour himself a glass of whiskey and stare into that tiny lens. It had once shown him the worst truth of his life, but it had also saved him. "Trust," he whispered one night, "is like sight. Once you lose it, you see everything more clearly." On a quiet Sunday evening, as the sun dipped behind the Abuja skyline, Chuka walked through the halls of his mansion, no longer a man broken by betrayal, but one reborn by it. He paused at the front door, where a delivery boy handed him an envelope. Inside was a simple note with 3 words, written in a handwriting he recognized instantly. "I'm not done. B.O." Chuka smiled faintly. He tucked the note into his pocket and glanced at the eye camera one more time. "Neither am I," he said. And with that, he walked back inside, the hunter, the survivor, the man who once gave his eye to see the truth, and now saw everything. We have gotten to the end of this story. Tell me what you think about what happened. Do you think he did the right thing? I would like to hear your feedback from this, and thanks for taking your time to watch this video till the end.